Hello, my name is Cassidy Williams, and today we will be going over how to add and subtract decimals. So first off, our grade level is going to be 5th grade. To begin with, we are going to start with 552.37 adding 2.53. So we're going to line up the decimal just like this, the decimals together. We're going to leave this as a 0, so just to add down. But let's start at the 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. And since we are in base 10, we're going to bring the 0 down and carry that 10's place up here. So now we have 6 plus 3, which is 9. Then we're going to drop down this decimal right here and go 2 plus 2 is 4, and 5 plus 0 is 5. Now we're able to do that because since this number is still to the base 10, both numbers are still base 10, then we can add them, we can line them up in the correct place value and then add down. Well, now let's try a harder one. Let's go 132.99 plus 952. Now we're going to add 952.32. 9 plus 2 is 11. Bring the 1, carry it. 10 plus 3 is 13. Carry that 1 over because that moves the 10's place into, that moves the 10th place into the 10's place. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Don't forget to drop down your decimal. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then 9 plus 1 is 10. So that'll be 0. Carry the 1, so that'll bring it down here. And then our answer is 1,085 and 3/100ths. So now that we have adding, let's now move on to subtracting decimals. So let's do 25 and 32/100ths subtract 12 and 93/100ths. So now 2 subtract 3. 2 is too little to subtract 3, so we're going to borrow 1 from the 3. That becomes a 2. And this becomes a 12. Now we can do that because we are still in base 10 again. And if we take 1, that just adds another place value to this one. So 12 minus 3 becomes 9. And now we have 2 subtract 9. And once again, that is too small. So we are going to take 1 away from the 5s. That becomes a 4. And then we're going to bring that all the way over. And then this will become a 12 because we're bringing over a whole 10th. 12 subtract 9 is 3. 4 subtract 2 is 2. And 2 subtract 1 is 1. And now that we've seen that, also don't forget to bring down your decimal. And this always works this way because if you line them up correctly, you will always be able to bring your decimal place down in the correct spot. Now let's try another one. 105 and 55/100ths subtract, let's go 62 and 28/100ths. So now we can do, since 5 is too small to take away 8 altogether, we are going to borrow 1 from the place value before that. That then becomes a 4, and then your 5 in the hundredth spot will now become a 15. Now 15 subtract 8 is 6. Now 15 subtract 6 is 7. 4 subtract 2 is 2. Bring down the decimal spot. 5 subtract 2 is 3. And then 10, you can just go like this, a 10, because we're not really going to take one away from there. I mean, we are, but we can still take one there because all of this right here becomes irrelevant. And so now it's just 10 minus 6, and that we know is 4. As you can see now, our answer is 43 and 27 100ths. A very common misconception that happens when adding and subtracting decimal places is that the students do not line up the correct place value when they're either adding or subtracting. A common misconception that students will get is that they won't line up their place values correctly when they are subtracting. And so they'll have it kind of like this. And so then when they subtract and or add the numbers together, they don't line up properly. And so then it confuses the students on where to place the decimal. An easy way around that is to make sure that the students know that this is the ones, this is the tens, and then this is the hundredths. And then on the right side of the decimal is the tenths. And this is the tenths. And then this is the hundredths. And so as long as your students can understand this concept right here and know that this is the hundredths, tens, ones, tenths, and hundredths. One important way how you can encourage students to use decimal places is by linking this to money, because at that age, they're kind of sort of maybe getting an allowance or receiving money from grandparents or family members. And so if you can link this to money and the way that it adds up, just show them that $1.25 is one whole dollar, and then you have a quarter, which is a fourth of the way to $1. And so in order to show that, you use a decimal place. And just like before, we're going to add down. 5 plus 2 is 7, and 1 plus 1 is 2 with a dollar sign. Linking this to students can connect to them in a different way than other things might be able to, other than just doing a 1.25 plus 1.50, because this way you're putting it into a reality in a sense that they will be adding their allowance together. I would just like to thank you for staying put and hopefully offering me this job. Thank you again.